talked about sports almost for an hour and a half. So we're going to talk about a sport that we all love and know, but some people don't call it a sport, known as professional wrestling. And listen, I know a lot of people have banged on WWE lately. People don't like the creative. People have not liked this direction for WrestleMania 42 at all. But I've actually been arguing completely against it. Has it been a perfect build? No. But this card on paper is fantastic. Um, and I am really intrigued by what's going to go down here in about a couple of weeks in Allegiant Stadium. But let's get your overarching view, if you will, first, and then we'll dive into more specifics.
So I think the overarching view in terms of the card, it's looking phenomenal. I think, like you've said, the build has been kind of lackluster and poor. I really wish, and maybe it's just us being spoiled from WrestleMania 40. Maybe the WrestleMania 41 build was, kind of if, maybe it was a little better than what we're getting right now. Do I agree that they should have turned Randy Orton heel? I don't think so. I think Randy Orton, I have been saying for years, you need to turn Cody Rhodes heel.
You and I have both been
I will
saying it.
continue to say for years to turn Cody Rhodes into Impact Cody Rhodes, the heel of heels. We know he can be a heel. We know he can. You're just afraid to do it because you don't want to take a risk.
I
So
still, I still don't know if when WrestleMania 42 night one ends, if Randy
double
Orton.
turn him. Double turn.
That's what I'm saying.
Double
Is
turn. I would be all in on Cody Rhodes. And listen, I was all in on him when he won the title. I've stuck by his side even though it's waned a little bit past couple years. Double turn. Give me Impact Cody Rhodes. I have said this for about a year now. I want to see the savage that is Cody Rhodes as a heel. I think it'd be awesome. Corporate
I
Cody.
I am going to say
Yeah.
this because again, I'm in the Cody Rhodes heel turn camp as well. But
Yes.
I was never the one though in the camp of Cody winning the title in the first place because I said this is exactly what would happen. Cody's going to win the title, and the chase is always better than when the guy has the title. And I said it. I said, you watch. Cody's going to win the title. And immediately, maybe not the fans in the arena, but some people in the IWC that think that they are the smartest wrestling fans in the world. And I'm not calling you that. I'm just saying the ones that are on the internet all day commenting and thinking that they're better than everybody else. They're going to immediately turn on Cody because that's what the wrestling fans do. It's like wrestling fans can't be happy with a story because we always want something new and exciting because that's what makes television exciting.
Yeah, and you called it from the jump. I mean, for me, I think it's more so a booking problem. I think the booking problem was pretty bad when he had it the first time around. Making AJ Styles a heel made no damn sense at all to me. I think that they should have just both duked it out. And AJ Styles, you're just one of your pure character. Cody
Well,
Rhodes.
that's why I've enjoyed this
I
Punk
think that I
Roman
think the
feud.
booking was just bad with Cody Rhodes when he was the champ.
I think that's why I've enjoyed the Punk Roman feud so much because they're still both baby faces, even though they have heel tendencies. Because I don't think we have a true heel in professional wrestling anymore. Maybe Logan Paul is one, like maybe Gunther is one. You can make an argument for MJF, but I really don't think it's there anymore. And I think you could have heel and faces without defining them. I mean, look at a guy like Trick Williams, right? He's a heel. He doesn't get a heel reaction at all. It's just he's a heel on paper because that's who he wrestles.
Yeah. It's just for me. I really wish we did go back to that traditional. You're a heel, you're a face. I really do. I feel like in today's day and age, with the society that we are in, people love a good heel turn, and I think it all started when John Cena went heel. When John Cena went heel last year, people were like cheering for it, and that heel turn was. It might have been good in the moment. That run was bad. It was a bad run. I know ultimately John Cena won the title and he had his run as a champ. I'm not saying that was bad. I'm saying him being a heel was bad.
I would argue the timing was bad. If you had more time and if Cena was on every week and it was more planned out, I think it could have worked because I think towards the end it was starting to work. But then it was time to turn him back, baby.
Mm-hmm. I just I think with that happening, and you see all these good guys going heel, and you see all these people like cheering and being like, "Yeah, he's a heel. I love a good heel turn." Like
I
it's
mean,
like you
look at
have
a
to
guy
get back
like,
to the basics
and
here.
I mean, look at a guy like Dom. He never has had a babyface turn since turning on Ray. What was that, 4 years ago now? But he went from getting booed out of the building to now everyone's singing his song.
Yeah, it's the state of where people are at in terms of who they cheer for and who they want to get down with in terms of heel and baby faces. It's never been more, I feel like, wrong. I want to get back to that traditional aspect of you hate this guy because he's a heel, you love this guy because he's a face. And I truly do think, and I hate circling this back to Cody Rhodes, if you turned him and you said, "Hey, I'm turning Cody Rhodes into a heel at WrestleMania," have him either. Actually, I would have him lose to Randy. I'd have him lose to Randy, and here's why: because when he loses, he can do like the whole either Monday night after Raw, you can have him basically go after him, or you can do it immediately after he loses to Randy. I think if you really want to get back to a true heel, you're already booing him. You already don't want him as champ. So make him the spoiled brat. Make him the corporate spoiled brat that goes to Triple H or goes to whoever the higher ups are and says, "I want this, this, and that. This is my show. This is my company. This is all this." Be brash and spoiled and basically be corporate. Be a
I'll,
corporate heel. I would love
I'll,
corporate heel.
I'll give you one. If he's gonna do that, you bring back The Rock, and
I
Cody
want
does
it.
sell his soul to The Rock.
I want it. They I think they fumble. It made no sense when he came back for Elimination Chamber if you weren't going to follow it up at WrestleMania, and they didn't follow it up at WrestleMania. So now you kind of have to do right. And I know The Rock's probably not even thinking about it. I know he's probably like, whatever. But I want Cody to sell his soul, be corporate, be the sellout, be Stone Cold for once, and sell out to Vince McMahon, which is The Rock and the TKO
Yep.
bosses at that point. I want to see that. If you want to get back to someone who truly should be hated, I think that's how you do it. Maybe it's just me though. But in terms of the overall card brand, I think outside of Punk and Roman, I am really excited to see Oba Femi and Brock Lesnar go at
I
it.
am too.
That's an amazing fight. And I know they're not going to be a main event, but you have two tanks going up against each other. I assume Oba Femi wins, but I think that it would be a very, very good card. A
I
very good
do
card.
too. And I think you can put the title on Oba at SummerSlam. You know, I don't know where they're gonna go with the World Championships now post WrestleMania. I think that's one of the things that makes this so exciting is for both of the main events, you could make a call for either way.
Mm-hmm. I think that they should go Randy for the Universal title. Try and get him near the record. I think at some point they're going to want to have Randy pass John, unless Randy just declines that. But I would go Randy for that title fight. The one I'm really conflicted on is Punk and Roman because I have said that I think Roman should win the belt.
I think Roman should win the belt too. I hate saying it because it feels like we would go back to a recourse. Do you turn the bloodline back heel? And do you run the bloodline back with Roman and the Usos? Maybe you get Solo back on board and just
I
have.
think I think it was better the first time around than whatever you're going to do the second time around. I
That's
just don't
fair.
think it would hit the same. It's typically how all movies go. The original is better than the sequel,
Yeah.
and I think just don't even do it. Don't even try. I think they've all went their separate ways. Could you possibly revisit something and make something different? Sure, but I think that's a risk that I don't know I would take. For me, I think you should turn Punk heel.
How,
And
how do
I
you
know,
get there though?
I think you have to slow burn it. I
Yeah.
think if Roman wins, which I believe he should, listen, I'll be cheering for Punk, but like I expect Roman to win, have him become the champ. You slow burn something heel with Punk over time. Maybe he reaches back out to a Paul Heyman. Maybe
Ooh.
he reaches back out to some of these people that he may have already severed ties with, and just wants to possibly do something with in terms of a heel faction. I don't know.
I
They have to. I'm not in creative, so they have to figure that out for themselves. But like, I think that you have to slow burn him turning heel. I think you
speaking of speaking of creative, I wonder off track, but since you brought it up, I want to ask you this question. What are your thoughts on Unreal? Have you seen it? Do you like it? Do you think
I
it's
like it.
breaking kayfabe too?
I,
I
I
love it.
like I like
I,
it. I think. Listen, I know kayfabe is a really sacred topic for wrestling fans, and I get that. But I also want to see the real aspects of this. I want I
My
want to see the
favorite
real.
moments of the whole show is every time that they are in the writers' room. Like because and I'm sure you do too. I have a notes document with like long-term WWE booking that I'm just like adding to me. Or they go here, they go like that's how I think of wrestling. I'm always thinking of the long-term booking picture, and then it's like right now, I'm already thinking about WrestleMania 43. Like, what is that main event scene gonna look like? And then let's work backwards from there. That's how I do it personally.
Yeah, I mean, I like when they're in the writers' room talking about stuff. It gives you a point of view where of like this is what they were genuinely thinking at the time. And like, listen, I know kayfabe is sacred. I already said that, but I like seeing the real aspects and like the real time decision making that happens. Because as wrestling fans, I think you should know what goes through some of these people's heads when they make certain decisions. And I want to see how
Yeah,
these wrestlers react when they get certain news and all that. I think from the human aspect of people going to work and doing their jobs, I would like to see something like this with the WWE. I hope they continue to do it. I think it's awesome. And it brings a whole new perspective of the industry, and I like that a lot. I think
it
it's really
does.
good. They've really hit it out of the park with that.
And here's the thing, it's funny because I have a couple friends that are like
Are
really
they
into
anti Unreal?
no, they're not anti-Unreal. They're more just anti-WWE in general, and they're really into what's going on in AEW right now. And I know they picked up a, a lot of momentum in the past few months.
They
And
have. I'll confirm they
yeah.
have. But I also like both. I like both companies. So like that's just who I am.
Well, it's funny. I was having this conversation with somebody the other day. I think it's unless you really like all aspects of wrestling and you like watch wrestling like a sport. I think it's really hard, and believe it or not, I think it's harder today than it was back in the day when like TNA was the number two to be a fan of a lot of different companies because WWE and AEW to me have never been different as two companies right now. And what they're providing you in terms of one is, really focused on the promos, not a ton of in-ring wrestling. And the other is we're gonna do a lot of in-ring wrestling. We're gonna do a lot of crazy spots. We're gonna give you a lot of blood. We're gonna give you a lot of matches on a pay-per-view. One's gonna give you 4 to 5 matches. One's gonna give you 11 or 12. So it's like really different in terms of the way both companies are approaching it right now.
Yeah, and obviously there's its pros and cons. If you like the traditional wrestling, then I think that AEW would probably be what's for you. I love the crazy spots. Maybe I'm just a spot lover.
Yeah.
I love crazy spots. I always think of the Darby Allin spot on Glass for Sting's final
For
match.
Sting's final match, yep.
That rocked. I loved it. I don't know about the comments of him saying, "Oh, I would always do that to go all out on the line to try and lay my body out there to provide something." Like that's psychotic to me. You probably should get checked out for CTE or something. So that's a really crazy statement. But I do like that AEW focuses more on the product. Now, as a fan of them, I really do wish that the storytelling would add up because I think the storytelling is just it lacks. It really does. But if your actions in the ring are louder than I guess the buildup, then sure. But that's also why I like WWE because WWE, they're entertainment. They're the whole thing. You get good wrestling, but you get better stories being told. And that's why I think that, as a fan of both products, and I don't hate if you got your one side, that's fine. As a fan of both products, you got to have a good story that goes along with the wrestling. So I don't
It's
know. I'm
it,
very up in the air on both.
I
AEW's
brought
had momentum though. I
I
will back that.
I brought it up because did you see this report that Tony Khan put in a $7 billion bid back in 2023 to buy WWE? And it's just like the ripple effects of if by God of chance Tony Khan bought WWE, what that would mean for the entire wrestling industry is a fascinating what if.
Yeah, that would have been nuts. And maybe that's well, no, because he was meeting with McMahon, not Vince. He was meeting with God, he was meeting with his son,
Shane.
Shane. I
Yeah.
fucking like that his name. He was meeting with Shane back in like 24. And I don't know if those were old pictures or if that was a
Yeah.
relatively new meeting. I don't because I know Shane has not been a part of the WWE for quite some time now.
Yep.
Like, I don't know if they were trying to get Shane in AEW leadership. I don't know if they were trying to work a
That would
deal.
have been the most wild story, I think, in wrestling history.
I would have loved it. Are you kidding me? Steve, or not, I don't know why I'm saying Steve. Shane
Shane.
McMahon going to AEW would have added so much fuel to the fire.
I think Shane McMahon going to AEW would have been a bigger story than WWE buying WCW. And I'm serious.
Yeah, no, because like you have one of the founding fathers' kids go to the
Going
big
to the rival company.
rival. Yeah, that would have been nuts. That would have been crazy. I mean, I'll never say never. It's probably more in the back burner now, but yeah, that would have been fucking wild if that would have happened. Him being on AEW television would have been crazy.
Wrestling's just weird nowadays, man. Like it's hard to explain to someone that doesn't watch the product what actually is the product now.
Yeah, because it's not like college wrestling where you're just like duking it out for points. Like this is
No.
it's entertainment along with good wrestling, along with storytelling. It's a lot of different aspects, and that's what kind of roped me in. Was like it's like a soap opera. It's a soap opera
Mhm.
for guys. Like it's actual like storyline, like it's acting, it's actual like athletic movements, it's competition, it's all of that. And it's awesome. I always try to recommend someone to at least watch it.
I
Just
would argue if they don't even have to watch it, just go there. Go to an event, whether it's even in AEW at TNA. Like I'll be at TNA at the Wolfstein Center in
you
a
are.
couple of
I
weeks here.
thought about going. I have
Yeah,
considered going. I don't watch TNA that much.
I don't watch it
I
either,
I
but
have considered going.
I consider going to, and I'm gonna go just to see the Hardys. I've never seen the Hardys live. Listen,
Is
they're
Nemeth going to be there?
Nemeth is gonna be there. I think he's already on the card.
Okay, that would probably be why I go because I like Nemeth a lot.
Yeah, and here's the thing. So we didn't even talk about this, but I want to bring this up. So I was very critical of Danhausen coming out of the crate. And I said, because again, I don't watch AEW that much. I said, I don't even know who this guy is. You can't have a mystery guy that nobody knows come out of a crate. It's going to go terrible. And it did. But I got to give WWE creative and I got to give Danhausen credit. The guy's gotten over like that instantly. The "you are cursed" thing is now all over programming. And I, I thought he was doomed from the start with his mystery crate, but he's gotten himself over.
I'm not a Danhausen fan, and I never will be. That's just
That's
me.
that's fair. I
I've
mean,
I've
I
never been a Danhausen guy. I never will be. I think the "you are cursed" thing is stupid. It's kind of like why I hate LA Knight. I don't like LA Knight because he says yeah. I also
yeah.
I also think he's a bad wrestler too. So that's why I don't try to sugarcoat when I don't like people and when I do like people. Like I was not a fan of when Danhausen came over. There's a reason why he wasn't on AEW television because frankly he's boring. And I know he's there for comedic relief, but I'm just not a fan of Danhausen. I never have been. I think the "you are cursed" thing is really, really annoying, and I'm not a fan of it. But maybe it's just me hating. I kind of felt the same way about Kit Wilson, but then I don't know. I like calling people toxic now. Like that's
You are, uh,
toxic.
yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Even though I think Kit Wilson is kind of annoying, I do like that saying. It's gotten to me a little bit, but I don't know with Danhausen that will never open up for me. I think the "you are cursed" thing is really really annoying.
So everybody has said, oh, Logan Paul would be a great heel champion. I agree. Oh, LA Knight should be champion. I agree. Dom should probably be world champion one day. I agree. However, I look at this top of the card right now. Again, you have CM Punk, you have Roman Reigns, you have Randy Orton, you have Cody Rhodes, you have Gunther, you have Obafemi, you have Braun Breaker, you have Seth Rollins. The top of the WWE card, I would argue, is so freaking stacked right now, maybe more stacked than ever, that even when you have two main event nights for WrestleMania, not everybody can get that slot. And people have been complaining about, oh, it's been, 5 or 6 years since the woman had main event in WrestleMania. And nothing against Rhea Ripley and Io and Charlotte and all these girls. But the men's lineup is so stacked. It's like, yeah, I'm sorry, the women are not gonna main event the show because the men are just so freaking stacked right now, and they are the top of the card.
And the WWE women's division's awesome. Like that's the thing. Like if they were not good and like they were not being pushed and promoted the way they have been in recent years, I don't think you'd really be getting those cries too much. But like again, you have to understand, and I agree with you. Like when you have perennial superstars who are
Yes,
going to be at the top, and you have those superstars with the women, but like I feel like they don't have the definitive one. They don't.
I think
They
Rhea
don't have
is.
they
I
don't
think
have the
Rhea and
definitive.
Charlotte would be the two definitive ones.
Mm-hmm. Who'd you say? I'm sorry, you cut out.
Rhea and Charlotte.
Rhea and Charlotte. Yeah, I think Charlotte over the years definitely for sure. Rhea is definitely one of the most over women in all of WWE. I would sit here and tell you that I think that Tiffany Stratton will have something to say about that
I
here.
agree with you. I love
I,
her.
yeah, I love Tiffany Stratton. I do.
Since she came back, by the way, a lot of people complain about her babyface run. I think she's better as a babyface than a heel. That's just me. I think she gets good reactions. I think she's really good with the crowd. I think she's been way better since she came back at the Rumble. Like I want to see her carry that Women's United States Championship and do something with it, the way Lyra and Becky did with the Women's Intercontinental title.
Yeah, I want to see. I want to see her with a belt, whether that's
Yes,
whether that's the undisputed belt, whether that is a U.S. title belt. I want to see her with
and
a belt.
I would say this publicly because I don't mind. She's pretty. She's hot. She's marketable. Okay, like
Yeah,
let's be honest here.
no, you're not wrong about that. You're definitely not wrong about that. So that's how a lot of the women in WWE are though, and they listen. I gotta give credit to WWE. They find these women with athletic backgrounds and they find ways to market them. And then, if they're pretty too, then you can all easily market them and get a fuck ton of cash for it. So
Yeah,
like, I gotta give them credit too, where it's due. But more importantly, they're good wrestlers as well. And I think that even though there's not that true definitive women's star, and obviously you could say Charlotte and Rhea, they're probably up there. Listen, I think in years' time it's going to end up being Tiffany Stratton, and she's going to be damn near at the top, and she is going to be the leader in that clubhouse
yeah.
very very soon. But yeah, no, with the men's roster, it's super stacked. Like the people crying about the women not being marketed right or near at the top for an event like that, I would like for you to go watch Evolve because they did an all women's card to
Oh, they did.
showcase these women. They did a all women's pay per view to showcase the women talent.
You mean evolution, not evolve, because evolve
I'm
is
sorry. No,
uh,
yeah, Evolution. I mixed the two up.
no, Evolution 2 was a great show. I didn't watch Evolution 1, but I did watch Evolution 2 that they did this past July. All right, I want to wrap it up with this. It goes back to our conversation about talent at the top. So again, post WrestleMania, I looked at SummerSlam, right? It's probably not going to be the exact card, but I said this is the card you could do for SummerSlam. Roman and Breaker for the world title. Gunther and Lesnar's retirement match in his hometown of Minneapolis. You have Oba versus maybe a heel Cody question mark. You could do Rhea and Io with the match with Rhea Ripley being the women's champion with the match that Rhea has never pinned Io. You can run that back. You could do Liv, Raquel, and Roxanne, the Judgment Day breakup finally happening for the Women's World Championship. If Bianca Belair comes back, you could have Jade versus Bianca Belair. I said 4 or 5 of those matches could all main event a show, and that could be a SummerSlam card. I think this could be the most stacked SummerSlam we could ever have if they play their cards right. And I'm not even including guys like Randy Orton, Seth Rollins, CM Punk. I don't even have a match for them yet.
Yeah. I think for Minnesota in particular, because that's where SummerSlam is going to be, right?
Mm,
Minnesota.
yep,
I think for them, because they were duped out of previous big shows,
yep.
I think they need to go balls to the wall and try and make something big happen. I would love to see Gunther and Brock Lesnar as a retirement match. I want to continue the Gunther retiring of the legends. I think that is phenomenal what they've done, and I want that to keep happening. So I would be really excited for that match. More importantly, um, if Roman were to win the belt, I, listen, I know Breaker would be interesting, but I don't know if they'd go that route. That's my thing. I don't know if they'd go Breaker and Roman.
You could go
Maybe
Roman and Seth,
like you could. Again, it's just so far out that like you'd have to really start digging in and planning. Maybe you have
but
a rematch.
that's
Maybe
why I
you have a
think
rematch of Punk and Roman. I don't
that's
know.
why I think you have to plan SummerSlam pretty much now. Like that's how you get for WrestleMania is what's our SummerSlam main event going to be like. That determines who wins at WrestleMania for me.
I think that they should do a rematch with Punk and Roman. I would love to do that.
With Punk as a full heel, maybe
Yeah,
at
I
that
would
point.
love for them to run that back. I really would. Punk would get booed the shit out of because people from Chicago are not really well liked up in Minnesota.
Yeah,
So
and
I think he'd get booed.
think about it. Punk, Roman, and Gunther, Brock are your two main events for SummerSlam. I think Punk and Roman would probably go night one because I think you'd have to have the retirement match night two
Yeah,
because
of
it's Brock's hometown, right?
yeah, Rock's hometown. Get him retired by Gunther. Add to the Gunther retirement legacy tour, and you keep it moving after
But
that.
this is what we're done. This is why I say again, you can say what you want. If you enjoy AEW and you hate WWE and vice versa, great. I think both companies have something to offer you right now where the talent has never been better. It's kind of similar to the NBA where it's like the talent's never been better. The execution may not be the best.
Hmm. And the thing with AEW that's really pushing them, before I get back to WWE, is they have amazing pay per views. Their
They
pay per
do.
views are
And
second to none. Like
that's the
they are
one.
so good,
If
and
you want
that's
to
what.
be up for 6 hours and that's your thing, go right ahead. That's the
Yeah,
thing, though.
yeah. But they'll damn sure give you a good pay per view for 6 hours. They
You
will give you a good
you
pay per view.
will get your money's worth. I think we need to meet in the middle on this, where both sides need to have 7 or 8 matches and have like a 3 to 4 hour show instead of WWE having 4 hours with 3 matches and AEW having 6 hours with 12 matches.
Hmm. I think that'd be awesome. I would like to meet in the middle on that too. I think you're both getting a good amount of matches, and you're both getting your money's worth. And again, like even though WWE tries to keep it short and sweet, and they try to push other stuff in their pay per view, I think with the AEW, you're you're getting those seven, not seven, eight. You're getting those like 10 to 11 matches for 6 hours. You're getting insane returns from time to time. When they do All In is like damn near an 8 hour show,
It,
and
I
it's
I would
crazy that
argue the
they.
difference maybe pay-per-view versus streaming though. Like I made I would watch an AEW pay-per-view if I didn't have to pay an additional whatever it is, $20 or $30
Yeah,
on Max that I'm already paying for.
yeah, I don't like that they're doing that still. They need to go to and maybe it's because they're not making the money that they think that they've been making by now. Because like the WWE, you can do the whole PLE aspect and you'd still make your money.
And they're
I
still
think
making it
AEW is
now.
afraid to do PLE because they don't know if they're making their money's worth. They don't maybe because I know Tony Khan's got cash.
That's what I'm saying. Tony's got the money. They don't
Yeah,
got to worry about. I mean, even if this Paramount Discovery merger goes through and AEW's off television or whatever, worst case scenario, Tony could literally make his own streaming service and
he
they'd be
could.
fine.
He could. They absolutely could, and he'd be fine. And they have a bunch of money. If you have to pluck money, go to the Jacksonville Jaguars. You could pluck money from there.
Yeah.
Even though you're headquartered there too, which is unironically hilarious. But again, like I just think it comes down to I think AEW needs to take a risk and go full PLE. They have not done that yet. They have their pay per views on Prime, which I do like because I think if they used Prime for everything, just make it a freaking PLE platform. Go to
Yeah.
Prime.
Yeah.
If you're already using Max, go to Prime for your PLEs, just like WWE did with Peacock and Netflix.
Yep.
Like, even though I don't think they use Peacock anymore, right? They got rid of
Well,
them.
Peacock is still technically there just for Saturday night's main event, which is wild because my theory is now TKO and Nick Khan and Amari Manuel, that WWE team, they're trying to basically corner the market so that if AEW does go down with Paramount, there's nowhere for them to go because they have a contract with literally everybody. And if you include the UFC, that's got Paramount now,
Yeah, the only place they don't have a contract with is
is
AMC.
Prime.
And I think if AEW were to go down a path, Reach out to Bezos, reach out to that team, go to Amazon Prime. Prime will pay. And Prime, listen, they already have the NBA, they already got the NFL. I don't know if they'll have the MLB here soon, but I could see them getting that.
I could
Maybe
see them too.
I could see them getting in business with the NHL as well.
Yeah.
They're expanding. And I think if you want to make it your premier spot for wrestling, then you go all the way in.
That's a whole nother conversation, though, in terms of streaming and television markets and what it's done to sports and consuming.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole podcast show compared to a podcast episode in itself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
No.
agree. But you never know. I mean, if Tony Khan does it, I'd be all in on Prime and AEW. So,
I like that clip from the Brands World podcast. If so, make sure you go down there and hit that subscribe button. While you're down there hitting the subscribe button, make sure to also hit the notification bell so you never miss another upload. And make sure you check out all the other clips from the Brands World podcast right here on YouTube.